I've been playing Dark Souls for over 10 years now, making all sorts of crazy fun builds along the way. And something that's always been in the back of my mind was, can I beat Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 with the same build? And I thought, no time better than the present, so let's do it. I decided to go with one of my favorite Dark Souls 1 weapons, with one of the most iconic armor sets in the entire series, and a little bit of spice for good measure. This time, we'll be taking on Dark Souls 2, so get comfy, because this is quite the adventure. Before we begin, let's do a quick run through of the rules. Starting with Rule 1, sticking to the build, which is the Great Scythe, Elite Knight Armor, Sunlight Blade, and in this game we are allowing the use of the Slumbering Dragon Crest Shield in place of our Grass Crest Shield. Rule 2 pertains to rings. I want to use rings that are obtainable in all 3 Souls games, such as the Life Ring or Chloranthy Ring. I will be allowing the Royal Soldier's Ring to replace Havel's Ring in this game, but I am banning the use of the Dragon Rings along with any plus variants of the rings. Rule 3 is store items are allowed. Basically this means the King's Ring, F-Boys, and Pharaoh's Lockstones are allowed. Fourth will be the beginner build is allowed. I'm just going to go more in depth to this when it becomes relative at the beginning of the build. Just remember that for later. Lastly will be a few other items not allowed, being life gems and torches. And you may be asking yourself, Ricky, why are you doing this to yourself? Well, because they're not in other Souls games, and I guess I have a kink for making things harder than they need to be. Anyway, on that note, let's begin this adventure. We begin our adventure by naming ourselves Hide Scythe, and I was way more proud of this than I should have been. We go with the Bandit class solely because of the short bow, which I will explain later, and we also got the Life Ring because why not? So getting the Scythe and the armor set in this game is a little more difficult than last. Once we arrive in Majula, the best hub, we need to invoke the help of our good friend Salden. Salden is going to help us perform the Cat Ring Skip. This is what we need to use to get down the pit in Majula. Normally we would use the Silver Cat Ring and a little bit of HP, however, guess what wasn't in Dark Souls 1? So to avoid that exception, we are going to do this glitch. And basically, once we aggro our good friend, we're going to take him over to the pit and get him within an inch of falling off. We then want to parry him, and if you time this just right, you do an epic Superman punch all the way down and avoid the fall damage. Let's go! Okay. In my excitement, I realized I forgot the ring, which was kind of crucial to the build, so we teleport back, and luckily it was back at his spawn point waiting for us. Back in the hole in Majula, we carefully navigate down, run by this knight, and loot this chest, and then we plunge deeper and obtain the Token of Spite, which will be needed for later. Oh shit. Oh! Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Next on our agenda is to perform the Dragon Rider cheese. You guys should all know this one or at least heard of it. We run over to Hyde's Tower of Flame and then to the Dragon Rider boss, and we wait for him to walk to this spot. You can either count 6 steps or wait until he passes this line. We run to the right and hope he falls down for an easy kill. Easy game. With these newly acquired souls, we can get a few HP levels, but more importantly, we can see our friend Mothlin. Buy one simple item to increase his stock, and would you look at that? A nice, clean, crisp, imported set of everyone's favorite armor for just slightly over 9,000 souls. And fun fact, in this game I did the calcs, and with our full build at the base vitality, we have enough to do the normal roll in the game instead of the mid roll we did in Dark Souls 1. And yes, I did say fat roll. I am sorry. I messed that up, and to make it up to y'all, I went back and counted every comment that pointed that out, added it up, and I did 10 push-ups for each one. So I'm going to leave that in the upper left corner for y'all to watch while we prepare for our last step of the setup. The last thing on our to-do list is to kill the Executioner's Chariot, and for that we're going to need some poison arrows. So off to No Man's Wharf to see our wheelin' dealin' buddy Gavlon. And of course we looted the wharf for a few goodies along the way, we bought out Gavlin's finest supply of poison arrows, and we go ahead and buy some alluring skulls from the cat Majula, and we are all set to go. So we make our way to Huntsman's corpse, get our back blown out, and somehow make it past Havel 2.0 and his gang of Endermen. But this is where the true test begins. In this boss, we start off by throwing some alluring skulls to attract the skeletons. Then we kill the mage, all while being aware of our good friend the chariot coming around from time to time. He actually helps us clear out the skeletons after the mage is dead, so that's helpful. There's 2 mages and 2 sets of skeletons, so we make sure we clear them both out before we get nice and cozy and proceed to tick away this guy's health. And while that's going on, let me tell you about how this whole setup just made me absolutely rage. Anyway, I made this all sound pretty easy, right? All hunky-dory, no problems. This took me over 4 hours. 4! That's 60 moonlight butterflies. This is my 8th save file. And that's because if you were to say fail at the cat ring skip, then Salden, or in my case, Mothlin died, you were shit out of luck. And you had to restart. Now, I say Mothlin because up until about my 5th attempt, I forgot Salden was a person. And my original route was to go straight to the Dragon Rider cheese, buy the Elite Knight armor, and then use Mothlin to attempt to skip. This was my first time doing both the Dragon Rider cheese and the cat ring skip, so you can imagine there were a lot of fails. Also, when I finally got here, I forgot the boss has a mechanic that at 30% HP he stops making the jump at the very end, and he's stuck there and you just have to shoot him off. But at this point I had no HP, no Estus, and I had the second round of skeletons blocking me from the chariot, and I died. And there was no reliable way of getting poison arrows, and I had to restart. This was definitely an enlightening experience, to say the least. Oh my god, it's finally over. I did it. I did it. With all of that finally done, we were able to talk to this little blood-starved midget, thanks to that token of spite we got earlier, and obtain our prize, the Great Scythe. Or what I think it should be called in this game, the Noodle Scythe, because let me tell you, this thing is a shell of its Dark Souls 1 self. In Dark Souls 2, Reapers and Halberds have an interesting hitbox. It is realistic at the least. Basically, if you hit them with the blade, you'll do the full damage, and pretty good damage at that. But if you hit them with the pole, well, you're going to be doing half and maybe even less damage, making this a weapon with a steep learning curve. To boot, we don't have life gems, so we have 2 S's to work with a weapon that we really don't know how to use, so I'm sure you can imagine the beginning was a bit rough for us. We make our way to Cardinal Tower to get the key, upgrade our Noodle Scythe, and well, nothing really changed. We attempted the early pursuer kill, but couldn't quite get it. However, a positive I can take away from this is that bigger mobs, especially bosses, are a lot easier to hit with the site's good hitbox. So that's actually really encouraging for the run. We continue on to one of the more handy sections of the area, getting another life ring, which would be useful if we didn't start out with one. But then we use a Pharaoh's Lockstone to get an oddly placed Titanite slab and a Chloranthy ring, which is, in my opinion, one of the better rings in the entire game. We finish up in the early game area, and then we head back to upgrade our site just a little bit more, upgrade our Estus, and now we're going to be ready for a little boss rush. After we take care of one more thing. So I was reading through the comments, and this was a joking comment, but someone said you should do Dark Souls 2 with no vigor or adaptability because they weren't stats in Dark Souls 1. Now, I'm not insane, so I'm gonna level my vigor, but I get the adaptability thing, and I understand it's used for the iframe rules, which is something Dark Souls 1 initially had, but why not make this game even harder? We soul vesseled back to 3 adaptability, and now we're ready to run through the bosses. First on our hit list is the Not Last Giant. Now, this fight gave me an extreme amount of confidence because just look at the damage. And also, fun fact, thanks to you guys, I learned that this is the same giant we fight at the end of the game in the memory, and he rips off his arm to replicate the sword he had when he fought us. Thought that was pretty cool. Yo, is that just gonna infinitely spin? Keep going! Don't die! That was so cool. Without even taking the time to rest at a bonfire, we make a mad dash over to the Pursuer to get our rematch. And long story short, with our upgraded Scythe, Sunny D, and the OP strafe right and dodge virtually everything method, the Pursuer stood no chance. Oh, don't think it stops here. I'm coming after your entire family, Mr. Pursuer. You better be ready for my wrath. Back to Hyde's Tower of Flame. This place was a little tricky because we killed the Dragon Rider already, which means all the Hyde Knights are aggressive, which honestly makes this area 10 times harder. It turned into a war of attrition because I knew I had to fight the dragon at the end, so I was thinking I had to kill all the Hyde Knights along the way because I wasn't going to be able to deal with both. I quickly realized I didn't have the Estus or the skill to be able to fight my way all the way through, so I just thought about sending it. Why not? I ran to the dragon and realized he also hurts the Hyde Knights, and I was like, okay, I can use this to my advantage. So I ran under him, I was fighting him off a little bit, and I realized he went up to go do a fire breathing attack, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. I'm a dip and let him burn away all of his knights. It didn't work the first time, but the second time I went, I actually got in a pretty good position where he basically did all the work for me. Once that was done, I was able to kill the dragon, and we were able to fight our good friend Ornstein, which I have a theory about this. So you remember in Dark Souls 1 when you fight Ornstein and Smo? And if you killed Ornstein first, Smo would smash him with his hammer, get the power up, and then you would kill Smo and get Smo's soul. Well, from what I understand, this isn't technically Ornstein, but Ornstein's soul possessing like a suit of armor or another body or something of the sort. So does that mean the sequence of Smo brutally murdering Ornstein is the canon ending or canon sequence? Cause you get Smo's soul, but you never get Ornstein's soul. So like, I don't know what happened to Ornstein's soul. Did Smo get it and just when he died it disappeared? Or when he smashed Ornstein, did the soul float away and then that's how it possessed another suit of armor or body or whatever it possessed? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you know any definitive information, I would love to hear it. Moving right along, thanks to our early expedition to see Gavlon, we can go straight to the Flexile Sentry. After Carhillium basically calls us an idiot, of course, we have little to no problem with the boss. This scythe really is not bad against bigger mobs, and you cannot discredit the work the Elite Knight Armor and the Steel Protection Ring are doing for me. I'm on a boat! I'm on a boat! Everybody look at me cause I'm sailing on a boat! So we actually begin our exploration of the Lost Bastille from the back door, and I begin with killing a Pursuer to make true to my promise that I made earlier in this video. We also riz up Lukaboo and we attempt to go see Macduff. Wow, that actually worked? After upgrading our Noodle a little bit more, we head back to the beginning and go through the Lost Bastille the normal way. And this is where we got hit with our first really heavy roadblock. Early on in this little section with the Pursuer, the dogs, the archers, the flame barrels, just everything that could possibly go wrong, it went wrong. We even got invaded by a Forlorn. That's how you know we're getting the true Dark Souls experience. We finally did get through. We explored the area a little bit, killed the other Pursuer, and then we made our run to the ruined Sentinels. Probably the closest I'm gonna get to the Dark Souls 1 Great Scythe. Ruined Sentinels boss-wise was probably our first really big test. The first part where it's just a 1v1, not so much, and I was usually able to get a pretty good chunk out of the second one before we had to drop down for the 2v1, but honestly, I'm just gonna let this play, because this is one of those I'm really proud of myself moments. I got so lucky right there. Oh my god, I got beyond blessed, bro. I know it doesn't matter if I die this run. I still ain't going there right now. Time for the center. And usually I don't struggle with this boss, but without light, life gems, or adaptability, I kind of was getting wrecked for the first few attempts. I locked in though, and once I got the attack patterns down, it was pretty straightforward. Let's go! I'll tell you what, lighting a primal bonfire is one of the best feelings, and I can't explain why. After the Lost Bastille and Sinner's Rise taking what it felt like a colony of moonlight butterflies, I decided to go run through the gutter real quick since I already had the bonfire, and even without torches I was pretty confident in my ability just to run through the area and get to the rotten fight, thinking it was going to be a quick easy lord kill. We were painfully mistaken, and honestly I don't know if it was just me being bad, or I was under leveled, or what it was, but I actually felt like the Rotten was a real boss and not what speedrunners use to farm souls. After taking entirely too long, we do manage to slay the Dark Souls version of Garbodor and obtaining a few F-boys along the way. Oh man, that took way too long. Before we head over to our next lord, we got a little bit of cleanup to do. First, we're heading back to the gutter to go fight the other two last giants, which proved to be a lot harder than I thought it'd be, but we got through it. We then go to the things betwixt to get an Estus shard and to go get eaten. What I meant to say is we're here to kill the pursuer, and then go back to No Man's Wharf and go get another Estus shard. And now we're ready to go, so we free Rosabeth and get another Estus shard. Okay, you know what? 8 drinks of Sunny D, that is a-okay to me. I then made a mad dash to Najka, really only looting this chest with Titanite chunks in it. And I was under the impression Najka was gonna be a lot easier because I thought if you hit her body, you do more damage. And I was thinking, oh, Great Scythe, overhead swings, this is gonna be perfect, but it didn't really seem like I was doing more damage, and I struggle with this fight as much as it is, so it was kind of just a sloppy performance all in all, but we got through it first try, so I'm never gonna not take that, especially against this Quelaag wannabe. Oh wow, I usually always miss this one. This might be the first boss that this weapon actually might be meta for, because you can actually hit all the crawlers really freaking easily with the swings. Oh god, this is bad. Oh god. Oh, okay, phew. Wait. Why can't I move? Why can't I move? On to the Duke, and normally this boss is trivialized by using a torch to make all the little spiders scared of you, but we don't have access to that. And on top of that, I thought it was a good idea to just try to brute force the Duke and hit its head a few times without really taking care of the spiders, and ended up dying a couple of times. The one attempt I did try to take out the spiders though, I feel like I got really lucky. I just kind of smacked them all at the very beginning before Duke could really even do anything. And at that point, it's just plain merry-go-round with it until you finally kill it. Is its head on top of its body? Oh my god, its head is on top of its body. That's so creepy. God, everything about this boss is so creepy. I'm about to kick your head down the cliff though. Oh, nope, you're going over there. Go! With the Duke defeated, we have one more Lord to kill, and that required us going to the Iron Keep. And I was avoiding this place on purpose. So we head back to Huntsman's Corpse, of course, to get our back blown out again. And to go get a Sublime Bone Dust and Estus Shard I probably should have gotten a lot earlier. We head straight to the Skeleton Trio boss, and I fought this boss the way you are not supposed to fight this boss. And here's what happened. Oh my god. This makes me feel like I'm playing Dark Souls 1 again. So for whatever reason, I figured now was the perfect time to go upgrade my armor, so we ended up getting all of it to +4 roughly, and then we just had a lot of fun in the poison pool. Why? Why do I get invaded by so many Forlorn? This is like the 4th one. Yo, this dude is jacked. I wish I had, what is it? How many abs is that? I gotta count. But he's got a solid 8-pack with the obliques. So in murdering Salden at the beginning of the game, I completely forgot I kind of locked myself out again in the welcome gesture, which is like my favorite troll gesture. So we're gonna get this one instead. It's a lot more honorable, and I think it's a very worthy substitute. That might be one of the most proudest things I've done in my life. Now, I was truly worried about the next boss. The Covetous Demon, as every Souls player knows, is the bane of everyone's existence by possessing high skill, high damage, and almost undodgeable attacks. I had to use a charcoal pine resin to give my scythe the absolute needed strength boost to even potentially compete with... Oh wait, it's dead already? Oh, okay. So the peak is a little bit interesting because of the no torch rule. We can't burn the windmill, which means for the first time in my life I have to fight Mytho in the poison pool. Also, in case you guys were curious, this is how the Great Scythe performs outside of boss battles about 90% of the time. My guy broke his arm about 8 times trying to swing in this little tunnel. Bro, that's ridiculous. So Mytho was definitely something else. My first attempt, honestly, in my opinion, I think went very smooth. I didn't first try it, but it gave me a false sense of confidence to say. That's not impossible. That's really not impossible. It's gonna be a little annoying, but it's not that bad. Damn it. Yeah, this was definitely a rough one. Having to balance getting poisoned, taking damage over time, getting hit by a boss that I can't dodge when I have more than 2 iframes to dodge with. And on top of that, she heals. This took roughly about 5 Moonlight Butterflies and like 12 attempts, I think it was. But Medusa's been slain, which means things are gonna get easier, right? This cannot be nearly as bad as that just was. I'm gonna murder every single one of your brothers. I promise you. I will come back here when I'm done with this playthrough and clear out this area until you despawn, and then I'm gonna go in the Champion of the Covenant's Covenant and continuously murder you guys until I have enough of your armor pieces to arm a freaking army at my disposal. It's safe to say this just wasn't my day on Dark Souls, but even with how poorly everything has been going as of late, I was really confident in my ability to fight Smelter Demon. The one thing I was worried about was the constant HP drain, because I usually just countered that with life gems. The first attempt showed I honestly just needed more Estus and I'd be fine. So I ran through the Iron Keep kind of like how I did at Hyde's Tower Flame, and it worked. I had about 8 Estus going into Smelter Demon, which made it a pretty straightforward fight, and against a boss like Smelter, that's about all you can ask for. And don't think I forgot about our little friend here. I'm keeping true to that promise. Come on, buddy. Come right here. Oh, that's just the most satisfying thing to do in every playthrough. Please just be easy. Please just be easy. You know, after how bad of a day I had recording this section of Dark Souls, on top of me struggling against the other 3 lords, pretty decently struggling against all 3 of them, it was really nice and refreshing just to have a first try Lord fight without that many scares and that much struggle. Let's go! I didn't die to a meme boss. Midget Alia. Now that we acquired all 4 of the Lord Souls, we could venture off to Drangleic Castle, but a lot like our first adventure, I'd like to take this time to do a little cleanup. So to start, I wanted to upgrade our Sunny D as much as possible. I also stumbled upon an unexpected upgrade while buying some Homeward Bones. Wait a minute. It was here? Oh my god, I could have had this the whole time? Next on our agenda is boss cleanup, or as I like to call it, pest control, literally. Let's start with the first and somehow more enjoyable of the rat bosses. There he is, I can see him by his mohawk. Oh, get wrecked, son, that is so sad. Next up is our classic, the NPCs are actually harder than the boss. And I honestly really hate to make this comparison, but once the little toxic dogs are dead, this boss is basically Sif without a sword. And I'm really sorry I made that comparison. Last on our little boss hit list is the gargoyles, but first we have to hold true to a promise we made to Mr. Pursuer and reuniting him with his entire family, because I do believe this is the last Pursuer in the new game. Yeah, I have issues. Now, do not let this clip fool you. If you fight this boss when you're intended to, it is without a doubt a top 5 most unenjoyable Dark Souls experience. I have nothing good to say about this boss except it reuses the Dark Souls 1 boss theme. That is it. Dad, you're all by yourself? Aw, you poor thing. You must be so scared, so frightened. Wishing that a friend would just come and save you. Well, guess what? There's nobody to save you. Absolutely nobody. You should have jumped off the roof when you had a chance. So I want to do one last thing before we head off the Drangleic, and that's going to require us farming for a very specific weapon, and that is going to be the Desert Sorceress's Top, which took me entirely too long for what it's worth. Let's go! It exists! I then want to go to Mothlin because this is actually the only save file I have out of the 8 that I made to begin this that has Mothlin still alive, so I can actually still do this. I want to buy another set of Elite Knight Armor, and then I want to go see my main chick, Rosabeth. We're going to pimp out Rosabeth and look at her. Isn't she stunning? Imagine this. So on this side of the tunnel, it's not raining. It's like, I guess you could even call it kind of sunny. And then on this side of the tunnel, it's just pouring rain, which means you know shit's getting real. But that's some Florida activity right there. Okay, that went pretty smoothly. Now we just have to wait for like a moonlight butterfly for this door to open. Huge. Yo, the R1s are so strong and it like locks them. Fuck you. So Duo Dragon Riders is really cool because it kind of gives us redemption against one of the bosses we cheesed early on. But on a side note, and I don't know why, but I always struggle on this boss. I always think I'm good going in with no summons, like I'm good at the game, and I always get slapped in the face and brought back down to earth until I act like that meme and start taking this boss a little more seriously. You might as well rename this place the Redemption Castle rather than Drangleic Castle because we also get the rematch against the Chariot that we didn't get to actually legitly fight. It's a shell of what the actual boss fight is, but I mean, it's here, so we might as well take advantage of it. Oh shit! Oh man, I gotta run all the way fucking through again. God damn it. Sir, where are you going, sir? I hate gargoyles. God damn it. Fuck, no, shit! And this will complete our Sunny D, making our orange juice the strongest orange juice in the land. Just so y'all know, I went ahead and upgraded my armor to +6 because I was tired of getting wrecked. Ooh, that was really fitting. Anyway, these are probably the coolest NPCs in the entire game. Like, who doesn't love a kangaroo kung fu spear guy with glowing red eyes? Pretty badass. I'm so sad. Looking at Aconite was definitely an issue for me, mostly poor to just bad play and that pesky shield. This is truly one of my favorite fights in the game, no whether I struggle or not, so I wasn't that upset that I had to fight it a few times. It is time to embark on my favorite area of the game, and yes, I am the only person in the world that has that opinion. We begin this epic adventure by searching for one of the pieces to our puzzle, the slumbering Dragon Crest shield. And I guess now's a good time to mention why I didn't use the Blossom Kite shield. Well, that's because up until about right after I got the shield, I didn't know that shield had stamina regen. Yep, you learn something new every day. But this shield looks a lot cooler in my opinion, so I'm happy that I stuck it out till I got this one.
I can't wheel it? Bro, you gotta be kidding me. I can't even wield the thing? Oh well, it's just gonna go on my back. Oh no, my calculations were off too. I can't even roll. Oh, this is a freaking tragedy. I think that's enough. Let's go. I still feel like that should give you a Soul of the Dragon Rider, seeing as he has 4 different weapons you can pick from. Is that Sunlight Blade or is that like another Estus Shard? Oh, please be an Estus Shard. Fuck you. Oh, so it is an Estus Flash Shard too. Okay, that's where I got mixed up at. Alright, can't use it yet, but we got Sunlight Blade, so that's great. Yo, these guys are super nice. They just watched me murder one of their mages, and they're like, oh, yep, it's fine. It'll get taken care of. Like, bro, y'all are just watching me slaughter your family. And they're still not shooting. Like, if they were shooting bullets at me, I'd be... They're really just chilling. I feel like Luigi and Luigi's Mansion just whistling out of pure fear.
Alright, so I have a Grandmaster strategy for this part. And yes, the strategy was to run by everything. It worked. Ah, the seam in a dong. I don't even know what to say about this boss except for he's sandwiched in between 2 of my favorite bosses, and he's the boss of my favorite area of all time. At this point, I made the executive decision to go pop all my boss souls, which was overwhelmingly satisfying, by the way. And I didn't want to do this, but I went ahead and used a second soul vessel as well. It was either do this or don't use Sunlight Blade to around the DLCs, and I think for the next few bosses, it was well worth the special occasion. You know, as much as I hate the crypt, I will admit this walk up to Velstadt is probably one of the most epic walk ups in the game. Love or hate this game, we all have to agree on one thing. Velstadt is definitely one of the more epic Soulsborne bosses. I was a little worried about this guy, but as long as you don't get caught on the wrong side of a 5-hit combo chain and you run around him when he does his little dark beat attack, which gives you a lot of free hits, it's actually a lot easier of a fight than I remember it being when I grew up. Yeah, you better run. I just murdered your boy Velstop. What you think you're gonna do? A little sequence break here. We go and fight DS2's version of Ornstein and Smell. And like how Velstop was easier than I remembered, these guys were harder between me falling off a cliff and trying to be cute, keeping them both alive and trying to KO them at the same time. When I did just KO one of them and focused on the 1v1, it was a breeze. Time for everyone's favorite area, Aldia's Keep.
Ah, shit. How about that one?
So I could sit here and talk about the Guardian Dragon and say how much of a piece of shit boss it is and how all it does is fly around and it's annoying and no one likes it, but how about instead we take the positive out of this? And that's the view you get after you defeat the boss. Let's just take it in.
He's so small. This man has infinite stamina and I will never get over it. What? He didn't stop. He did not stop. That was like a 12-hit combo. That man did not stop swinging. Let's go. I want to scream and shout and let it all out. Boy, oh boy, what a nightmare this place turned out to be. Thanks Solaire I didn't choke against the Mega Chat at the very end. We got the Ashen Mist Heart, which means we're golden because if we have to run back here, the Dragon Warriors won't attack us if we run by the Infinite Stamina Knights. Which is a good thing because we have one more thing to take care of before we leave. Ah, the Ancient Dragon. A lot of people view this guy as an impossible behemoth of a dragon, but simply you just want to kind of get yourself nice and cozy on the back blade, watch for the stompy stomps, and when he flies up, chase his tail like a dog. Oh, and watch for the self-baking attack. I did die a few times, but once I got the mechanics down, it wasn't too bad. Fun fact, it actually took me only slightly longer to kill a behemoth of a dragon than it did to kill a Moonlight Butterfly in Dark Souls 1. That was a little too close for comfort. So now that we have the Ashen Mist Heart and 2 of the 5 Giant Souls, I'm pretty sure you guys know where we're going with this. We grab the other 2 Giant Souls and then pay a visit to our friend, the Giant Lord, which I'm sure everybody's killed at least 100 times by now. God damn it.
I struggled with that way more than I should have. With our 5 giant souls in hand, we head back to the crypt and pay a visit to Vendrick. I came into this fight way too overconfident. I must have forgotten my rolls have like no iframes, but then I get lucky and I have this one attempt where he overhead smashes until about 15% HP. And to put into context, the overhead smash is the easiest thing to dodge. You literally just strafe right, and if you're scared, you roll. So from here, we only have a couple of things left to do. We can go fight Darklurker. We can go run through the DLCs, or we can get revenge against our arch nemesis. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Please, 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 please. Oh my god, let's go. Okay. Alright, let's get the oh god. Oh shit, that's what I need. Oh no. Run away! Ah! Oh shit. Okay, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. Look at all that bullshit I just skipped. Feels good, man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, there's a dream! Run away! Wait, what? Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Why are you so tanky? I have no HP.
Very quiet. I don't want any of these swamp monkeys seeing me. It's okay, mister. I will wait for you. No worries, I'm in no rush.
Oh jeez. Oh crikey. Oh crikey. Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh gee williker. Oh Jesus. Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Not like this. Hit the bonfire. Hit the bonfire. Rest, rest, rest. It's fine. I think that's good. I think that's good. Oh my god, I think that's good. I think I clutched it. Please, 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 please. Let's go! Whoa, was that another guy using a great sight? Oh, that's not the same guy. Oh, jeez.
Ah, the first boss of our DLC excursions. Alana is a prime example of how the DS2 DLCs did justice to the bad boss themes around this game. I believe this is the true Ornstein and Smo fight, depending on a certain stipulation.
Oh, guys, that Velstadt? Is that Velstadt? Oh, it's Velstadt! Oh, no! God, he's so shiny! He's so tanky! Oh, why is he's not this golden in the crypt, is he? God, did Alana like spit shine his armor? Oh god. Shit. No! Why?
Alana truthfully is one of my more favorite bosses in the game, which is weird to say because she takes a little from the Chandra and Darklurker, who are two of my least favorite bosses in the game. She mixes in a little bit of her own style, and then there's a gank possibility that's actually really decently manageable. I did die a few times, one being a classic one-hit left death that just hurts so much more than the rest. We didn't struggle too much, which is fantastic because faster than you can say Solaire is our son and savior, we're at the next boss. And what a beauty of a boss it is. Sin, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated bosses in all of Souls, and a boss I thought I was going to struggle with a lot more than I did. The one thing I will say is this guy's notorious for doing that one annoying thing all dragons do. You know, the whole flying away the whole fight and not letting you attack him. However, in the few attempts I did, he was actually pretty aggressive. As long as I timed my rolls, I was able to get plenty of counter strikes. Oh, and I found out the hard way I needed repair powder for this fight. Guess the site's better for raking crops than killing dragons. But it gets the job done. Oh, I got pushed. I should be dead right now. Oh, that should have taken so much longer than it did. I'm so happy. So during Sin, I had this great idea that another Sunlight Blade would be really nice. And I remembered Straight sells you one after I think Belstat. So we go and pay him a visit, and I guess he won't talk to us because we are literally too dumb.
We cast what we cast what we Ooh, you're tough, cursed one.
Holy shit. Holy shit. What the fuck? Oh god, no, not again. What the hell? I may have forgotten about this when I was here, but at least I remembered before I tried to open the door. I lied. I tried to open the door.
You know the developers were just laughing their asses off when they put this guy here. Ooh, that was a risky parry. Oh god, he's still alive. You know what? No, we're not gonna heal. Gamer. That was an honorable fight.
A first opportunity to live out our dreams as an NFL running back. We all know how shitty the boss run is here, but this boss, oh boy. First off, I truly can't complain. 3 tries is not bad at all, but man, soloing these guys is annoying. It turns into a massive merry-go-round chase where your best bet is to parry the Havel wannabe into the ground, then try to 1v1 the Darksouls 2 generic soulsman, and then overpower the little archer bitch. And I know I made this in 1 minute, but this fight took 6 minutes. Literally on par with Ancient Dragon, which I guess if you're looking at it from that perspective really isn't too bad. Oh well, we got a pretty skirt. Hey yo, look at my quads. Next DLC, let's grab some of these because they are gonna save our life.
Hey, that's a huge skip. It's not a skip if you still suck at the game now. This is why you get prism stones. They actually work against those guys. Wow, I think I said prism stones. I meant alluring skulls.
Smelter Wedge. This should stun them. It's not stunning. Okay, I'm in an image. It doesn't matter. Oh lord, hurry up. Bye-bye. Oh god, you're not dead. So I know a lot of people are like deathly afraid of this room, but let me show you how you deal with this room, alright? So you look at your target, take a deep breath, and go. And you're good. Whatever happens, happens. But we're gonna get away. I think this is the key. Oh! Did you just... Sir? Ah, you snapped out of it. Good. You wanna know what? You can live in pain, suffering, and agony for the rest of your life. You are being the most polite gentleman right now. I don't even care. Thank you. Thank you for the back scratch. My back did itch. Okay, sir. My back doesn't itch anymore. Can we stop? Praise the sun, bitch. And we have arrived at what is popularly to be believed as Dark Souls 2's hardest boss, and our friend the Fume Knight surely did not disappoint. Excuse me? I deserve that.
You how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
The 3 adaptability was always an annoyance, but this was the beginning of where it became a serious problem. We spent quite a bit of time down here, more time than we spent anywhere else actually. And if there's one positive from all of this, it's that Mytha is no longer the boss who killed me the most. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, that took so long. Now, Sir Alone might be one of my favorite boss fights ever, but it was also one I was deathly afraid of, especially after the issue Fume Knight caused me. And boy, was I right to be afraid. Yeah, so between Alon and Fume Knight, I spent about the last 3 hours getting spanked by some of Dark Souls' hardest bosses. But during my time here, I've come to appreciate Alon even more. One, for being one of the coolest bosses in Dark Souls. Regardless of how you feel about Dark Souls 2, you have to admit, this dude's a badass. Secondly, and the more important thing, A simple shift in your approach can make a world of difference in these games. And what I mean is, I'm a huge strafe right, roll right spammer kind of person, and that's great for his stabs, but his slashes, a simple roll backwards dodges most of them with ease, and it allowed us to secure a win with relative ease after just a few attempts. Were you expecting a reaction? There is no reaction. This is actually me in post-commentary recording over this, because I didn't react. I just sat there like I didn't know what happened. Like I was just so engulfed in happiness at this particular moment that I had no words to be said. And then there was one. Past yet again another notoriously shitty area, we fight a familiar foe. Now surely with after all the hell I just endured, this one will go smooth, right? Yeah, this DLC literally pushed me down, formed a triangle around me, kicked the shit out of me, let me get back up just to push me back down, spit on me, tell me get good, and laugh at my misery. And at this point, I don't even have any redeeming remarks to make. No lessons to be learned. Well, I take that back actually. There's a very valuable lesson learned.
I am never doing a no adaptability run ever again. You know how this mask, here, a mask depicting Pharaoh's contraption, tears flow from the eyes of this mask. Yeah, that's your reward for fighting this boss. You get to cry. It's pretty fucking accurate.
And with the Iron King DLC single-handedly rounding out my top 3 hardest bosses of the run, we have one more pit stop to make, and that's at the Elyum Loyce, which holds the beast I was most afraid of since the early planning stages of this run, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. First things first, we have to worry about the task at hand, and that's obtaining vision to see the first boss.
But if you were to ever go back to like the shaded woods where there's those little ghost monsters, you can actually see them now that you have the eye, which is pretty cool. Oh, nice armor there, mate. I'm gonna run by you though because you have that hammer and that hammer scares the shit out of me. I couldn't resist. He's like, oh no, 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 no. Hey there, buddy.
Ava for me, believe it or not, was more or less practice for the bigger beast at the end of this DLC, because I will be the first person to say I am not good at this boss. I'm not going to say I was dying on purpose, but I definitely was slow playing the boss fight, trying to learn the attack patterns and get a method for taking care of the boss. It proved to be a little bit harder than I thought because I found out I'm going to need repair powder for this fight, and I just still struggled with dodging some of the attacks with the low adaptability. We grinded for about 30 minutes or so before finally defeating the boss, and then we turned this place from a minor inconvenience to an absolute hellfield.
They may have nerfed bone wheels, but in turn they gave us hedgehogs. Oh god, I got myself into a situation. Honestly, that's probably the best case scenario.
The first night, in my opinion, is the hardest one to get. It is satisfying though to push down the snowball at the end. Makes it all worth it. The second night really isn't much of a problem except for the witch at the end, but we didn't have too much problems with her this time, thankfully. And the third one, well, let's just say it took me a minute and a half after I got the second one to get to the third one, so that wasn't a problem at all. And with that, we are ready for war. Before we go to war, we have one more thing to talk about, and that's this door right here. Behind this door is a key. This key is to get to the frigid outskirts, one of the best areas in all of Dark Souls. Now, to get behind this door, we have to light these torches, which is against the rules. So I guess we're just gonna have to miss out on one of the best experiences in all of Souls games. It's a shame. I'm just kidding. I'll make an exception to fight a boss. I believe our key is that right there. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna die. That is our key. Let's go. Call me basic, but between Alon and this fight, I couldn't name a cooler boss fight. The walk up with your 4 knights rising to their feet, to drop into what seems like literal hell, a gimmick that even as someone who grinded out 50 Loyce souls on 2 separate accounts in the past 5 months, can still find joy in. Help me, fuck! And of course, the most epic entrance a boss has ever made. The Ivory King, thankfully, with a little bit of sanity I have left, has never really caused me much of an issue. My method was basically to blitz him the most amount of damage while I still had my knight up, and even when he dropped, I felt pretty comfortable in this fight, beating it in just a few tries, which is a refreshing change of pace from the last few bosses. It feels good to kill a good boss without dying 100 times. Well, it's time for the frigid outskirts. I knew this place was going to be an issue going in. Without life gems, fighting the horses seemed pretty impossible. However, do you know how hard it is to run from a horse in a wide open snowfield? It's not easy. I ended up only getting 2 attempts on the boss my first hour trying to run through this area, so I knew I had to change something. I had 2 realistic options. First being to fight the horses until they despawn, which wasn't gonna happen. The second option was summon a phantom to use as a distraction to run to the boss and then send them home before I go in. And yes, it does kind of go against my no summoning thing, but guys, this place sucks, so cut me some slack. The good news is summoning a phantom made running to the boss pretty trivial. The bad news is getting to the boss was the easy part, and fighting the boss is the actual hard part. My fight with Ava left me with very little S's at the end, and that was with one of them. With Lud and Zolan, there's 2 of them. And there's a time you have to fight 2 at once. And the second one also gets a crazy buff that will heal and then buff their attack or defense. And the worst part is, even after hours of attempts, I couldn't even get to that phase. And honestly, I just made the executive decision to say, fuck it, I'm out. In my spare time, I will definitely continue to try this boss, and if I do somehow kill it, you'll see it in the Dark Souls 3 video. But trust me, I'm not going to lose any sleep over not finishing the worst area in all of Souls on a 3 adaptability Noodle Scythe playthrough. So on that note, that brings us back to the main game, where after all the shit we just went through, it should be a breeze, right? Well, let me introduce you to the bullshit that is Dark Lurker. So after talking to an old man 3 times, we can choose to go into this abyss-like area, and we have to light some beacons, which, yes, yet again, I have to break the rules for a boss I despise fighting. However, we also have to go through a plethora of Dark Souls' most annoying enemies. some being Havel 2.0, the pyromancer from Dark Souls 1 with a haircut, a poised monster with dual daggers, Havel himself, and let's just throw a card in there and some Amazoness swordswoman. After all of that, you get to fight Dark Lurker, which is my personal least favorite boss in the game. Well, except for Blood and Zolan, but that's a different story. And of course, we died a few times, and as I was on my last human effigy before I had to go farm the dogs in Lost Bastille for more, I had quite the Dark Lurker experience that I don't think anything other than just the raw clip can do justice for.
I'm dead. Doesn't this look like fun? Doesn't this look like I'm having so much fun?
I'm gonna put it this way. Oh no. Oh no. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh, are these you too? Leave me alone! Stop! Oh my god! Stop it! I just want to get close! Oh my god! It's coming from every direction!
Shit. Please. Is this ooh. Fuck. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? My hands are shaking so fucking bad right now, bro. It feels like I'm doing Jad for the first time on RuneScape. Oh! Holy shit! Stop! They're spamming soul. Oh god, here we go. Okay, get a heal, get a heal, get a heal. Oh my god. Gotta run, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run, gotta run, 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 gotta run, gotta run, gotta run, run, run. Come on, drop down, drop. Oh, okay, one goes down, one goes up. Why? Fuck, 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 fuck. I have PTSD with that move. That's the move that killed me on my no death run. Where's the divine? Nah, I got divine blessings. I'm good. I was gonna use these on Lud and Zolan, but fuck the frigid outskirts. Where's the other one? Oh, you're going up. Oh no, this is so bad. Oh my god. Heal, 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 heal. Go, 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 go. Yeah, I have 3. I'm so scared. Just keep. Just keep. It's about to be a mad gamer. Come on, divine blessing. Let's go. Run, run away. Run away. Oh god, okay. Dude, I don't know what to do. Finish it. Let's go. Oh my god. I would have quit. I would have quit. I would have quit. My control would have been through the window, out into the neighbor's yard. I would have been done. Dark Souls 2 would have never been played again. Oh my god. Let's take the leap of faith. Oh my god. It's over. It's over.
We go back to Vendrick and get our super crown and spend the last few moments with our elite knight waifu before we make our final trek to the grudge match I've been waiting for a long time. You know, I learned 2 things during this playthrough. 1 is adaptability is the best stat in this game. And 2, this great scythe is absolute dog shit. After Nishandra gave us a reminder of how she ended our no death run a few months back, we come back and we beat her with relative ease. And that just leaves Aldia, who for lore purposes is really cool, but once you understand not to burn yourself alive, it's a really easy fight. But at last, we have finally defeated Dark Souls 2 with the Great Scythe. Next time, we will be returning to the land where it all began to go on an adventure we haven't been on in over 5 years. Will my inexperience prove fatal against bosses like Nameless King, Freed, or Gale? Or will my ability to actually have a role prove to be what has held us back these last 2 adventures? Before we head off though, there is one last thing to be done.